So, hello guys, welcome back. I'm about to show you guys how I achieved this beautiful set. Let's get into it. Yes, I love it. So, my client wanted something cute but on the simpler side, fancy but simple. So, let's get into the tutorial. So, as you guys know, we're going to just rough the nail up a bit gently and lightly, guys. Do not have your e-file on a fast setting at this time. Just go smoothly and lightly, because a lot of times, like my client, her nails, she just took off a set that she had for a while, so her nails is pretty sore. So guys, now you're gonna size the tips to the fingers, and always remember, guys, sometimes you have a client and none of the nails fit their nails perfectly. And I feel like, no, it's not that I feel like, it's always better to get a bigger tip than a smaller tip and file the size to match the natural nail. It's better to get a bigger size. So now we are just filing those sides. As I tell you, this first file does not have to be perfect. All you are doing is filing the excess tip from the sides just to make the nail and the tip more uniform and just nothing sticking out, just nice and smooth like so. So guys, do not forget to prime those nails. Make sure you don't forget that step, because you will have angry clients. So let's get into the acrylic. I am using the color Bubblegum. This shade of acrylic is available on the site selfishbb.com. You can shop beauty, you can shop fashion, you can shop nails. It's just the litty. It's really like a my beauty brand, guys. It's just my beauty brand. It's a whole brand, and it's expanding, and it's just so lit. So let's get into the tutorial. So guys, how I apply my acrylic is I put it like a little bit above, a little bit before the cuticle, not too close though, and I just do it like that, and I just add beads, like 2 or 3 beads after that. That's how I get my acrylic. So we're gonna put the first bead and push it all the way down. Okay. The second bead, okay guys, and I said push, but I mean, y'all know what I mean, lightly feather down. And I'm gonna put the second bead closer to the cuticle, and then I'm going to add beads wherever I feel, add more acrylic to wherever you feel like you need it. So one close to the cuticle, then the second one is very close to the cuticle, and the third one is just closer. So you guys are going to see I put the first bead kind of close to the cuticle area and slide all the way down. Then the second bead is very much closer, and I just clean up around there, and then I add another one just at the bottom or wherever I feel like it needs to be. But most likely, guys, for my sets, I use about 3 to 4, however many beads I need for the nail. And you are going to be turning it in different directions and angles just to make sure it's smooth all the way around. For the thumbs, you may need more beads, but it's normal, guys. For the thumbs, just expect to use more than you would on the smaller nails. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. It's quite repetitive, guys, but I just want you guys to know the steps. So the first bead you put is going to be kind of close to the cuticle, not really that close. The second bead you put is going to be very close to the cuticle. The third bead is just going to be like, you're going to use that to just basically have it in and pat around the cuticles so it can, like, fill in the spaces like right around the cuticle, like so. And guys, I think this brush I'm using is, I want to say it's a 14 or a 16. I really don't know. But with these smaller brushes, you will have to use more beads, especially if you have smaller than this. So I like to use a 18 or a 20. That's just what I prefer to use, but my local nail supply did not have them, and I do not carry nail brushes on my site yet. I'm still in the process of just basically finding a good vendor for them, and that's pretty much what's going on. So we're gonna just lightly do, and guys, if you are not going to use clear acrylic over yours, you want to use a little bit more acrylic than this. I just want to say that too. So, like I tell y'all, a trick to get that acrylic close to the cuticle but not on the skin is lightly tapping the acrylic in like around, and just taking that brush, dipping it in acrylic, and just outlining the cuticle. You will see me do it on the thumb. I know a lot of beginner techs, they always say that they have a hard time like getting the acrylic perfectly around the cuticle without it touching the skin. And the best way to fix that problem is to just, like I tell you, gently sweep down I mean, not gently sweep down, I'm sorry, guys. Gently pat around, lightly tap around the cuticle, and just lightly tap, and that would cause the acrylic to just spread more. So, guys, that's how you do it. So now I'm just going to go over this nail with a thin layer of acrylic, guys. And just like I do it, I kind of do it the same way. I use a bead at the, like, close to the cuticle. Then I use another one to gently, lightly tap or sweep down. Sometimes I could use one or two, guys. It really just depends how much I pick up on my brush. But you still want to like just check around the angles, because sometimes you may think it's smooth but it's really not. So you just want to be looking around, turning the finger in different directions, moving your head just to make sure it is nice and neat and smooth and you have it even all around. And when you first start, guys, you won't be perfect at this, but just if you're in doubt, just add more acrylic, because when you file, that could fix it. But to cut your filing time, we're going to just try to make the acrylic application as smooth as possible, because the smoother you get it, the faster your service will be. And guys, I'm not the fastest, so just imagine like if I did it clumpy, like it would be a lot longer. So the trick to that is just make sure, just look around. Y'all see that curve on the nail, on the thumb? Period. That's how it's supposed to be, nice, flat, smooth. Well, not flat, but the little curve is supposed to be a smooth. Okay. So now you can file perfectly. I tell you in the beginning, y'all don't file perfectly, but at this point, this is your time to shine. That beginning file was just a rough draft, so and that's just something to follow, and it's just actually that step in the beginning really, really, really cut your service time down by at least 10 to 15 minutes. So that's a good time saver too. So guys, now that we're filing, I tell you guys, I go around the cuticle first. I kind of like go down the sides, and then I take that, do the, like, go back and forth in a rocking motion around the top, just to make sure everything is smooth. And guys, when you go around those cuticles, take your time. Do not try to go all fast. Take your time, because you do not want to cut your client. So I go around those cuticles. I shave kind of like the sides, and then I use my drill in a back and forth motion just to kind of like make the sides and everything just come together in a smooth motion, like so. So do the cuticles, do the sides, and just use your drill in a back and forth motion down the nail, and that will make the perfect finish, it'll make everything just perfect. I would say cuticles, sidewalls, and back and forth motion amongst the top and the sides. Cuticles, sides, and then you can go in a back and forth motion along the top of the nail. So I just try. Sometimes I just go back over, especially when I'm doing like a tapered square or a coffin or stiletto or any shape. I just like to go back over it and file it just to make sure everything is just how it's supposed to be, and just make it nice and crisp, because they do wear their sets from 4 to 6 weeks. So I try just to make sure the shape will just stay nice until I see them again. So now we're just gonna go ahead and buff those nails so good. And yep, tell your client go wash their hands. I know some people say they don't use soap, but I do. So, you know, to each their own. Do what works for you and your clients. So yes, guys, I'm about to go from bologna to steaks real quick. So don't go too hard on my drill. On my lamp. So guys, with this French tip, this is my first time really attempting a French tip with polish like this. I normally do it with all acrylic, but I just figured I'm gonna just try something new because she wanted it like simple. She wanted like that simple look, but just a little bit of razzle dazzle. So I'm just like, all right, let me just try this out. So how I did it was I took my polish and I did a U, like kind of like a U motion, and I just did a line and cleaned it up with my cleanup brush. And that's just pretty much how I did it. It did take me quite a while for this because it was my first, you know, time really doing it. But I am satisfied with the results. Like I tell you guys, always, always just try to do it. If you feel like you can't do it, just try your best. And your clients know that they're getting the works, period. So we're going to do that. You kind of like motion like so. And I'm not going to lie, this hand was a lot easier for me just because I got the concept from the first hand. So you're going to outline it with the polish, and you're going to just take your liner brush and outline the smile line. I would say create it, just outline it, make it neat. The polish, like this brush, is going to pretty much do the job for you, and the liner brush is just gonna really do the job for you too. But just take your time, don't rush, because I was trying to rush in on one of these parts, and I'm just like, no, let me just slow down because it's not coming out right. So Slowing down works, guys. Just focus and don't worry about the time. So, yeah, I'm going to just do this over because I didn't even cure it. I thought I did, but I didn't. So, like just the same way, clean up the sides with acetone, clean up that line if you have to, and just voila. And y'all, this came out so pretty. I'm like, oh my god, I look he won't do the whole hand, but I just was like, no, I'm gonna just keep it simple. She don't want too much. So this is the design I choose to use. A little pink. I got like these different size of gems. They're not like no diamonds. They don't shine like Swarovskis or none of that. But they're cute and I just made use of them. So I actually love them. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, and that's that. I just was thinking like, oh yes, the next set I do, I'm gonna do like all French tips with the tips like that. But I might add a little Swarovski, just to give it that razzle dazzle. But of course, you're gonna have to get long nails if you want me to do all that because, So I'm just adding glitter around it just to give it that extra razzle dazzle, and it's just a lightly, I'm just lightly like pinching the glitter over it. So as you guys know, I do use acrylic to place my 3D decoration on the nails. I know you can use hard gel. Hard gel is actually a good option as well to use, but I just personally choose to use acrylic because that's just my way of doing it, and I've been doing it like that for a while. But hard gel does save my life, and to be real, I just don't have no hard gel right now, but I still use acrylic from time to time. So I'm just gonna place some smaller, like diamonds around my 3D gel, and I mean my 3D decorations, and put 3D gel around and cure that hand. So I'm just finishing up this hand. Same rules apply, and we just getting into it. Yep, clean it up as you need to. Take your time, and it's just gonna come out how you want it to come out, period. And guys, now I'm just adding my final layers of top coat. I always use about 2 to 3 layers of top coat. I know, guys, I'm so excessive, and if I use hard gel, it would be maybe 1 or 2, but I stick by IBD. Like, that is my favorite. That's my favorite. I love them. I did try this other top coat that I got from my local nail supply before, and I loved it. It was so shiny, but when I went back, it just was nowhere to be found. So I'm like, you know what? But I stick by IBD gel because they're consistent and they're pretty great. So I'm just gonna do the same thing as I did the other hand, and we're going to see how they came out again as you seen at the beginning. But let's go. And guys, make sure you shop the site selfishbb.com. Selfishbb.com. If you are in the New Orleans area, you can book a hair, nails, or makeup appointment, and you could come pick up your pieces that you order online by clicking the pickup on the site, the pickup option on the site, and texting 504-515-9024 to book your appointments. I do require a deposit. All appointments are confirmed through text message because I really can't do the booking site like that because all the services are different times and I'm only here for a limited amount of time. So I rather just confirm it through text, accept the deposit, and just get the party rolling. So let's see, guys, how they turned out.